Kansas State Wildcats, they are my pick to win the Big 12 this year out of Manhattan, Kansas. Avery Johnson comes into his second year as the starter. Started a few games as a freshman, but his second year as a full-time starter. Dylan Edwards, running back transfer from Colorado, returns for another year. They have a full transfer wide receiver room except for J.C. Brown, who was on the team last year and had almost 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. Defensively, you got two guys to look at. Austin Romaine, who had 96 combined tackles last year, 3 forced fumbles, and 8 TFLs. He's really fun to watch on tape, too. I watched his highlights.
Hype.
VJ Payne, a safety for them, had 39 slow tackles, which was third on the team in solo tackles, as well as 2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles. So there's some playmakers for this team. But the big thing and the big reason that I'm picking them to win the Big 12 is if you look at last season, the story of last year really was just embarrassing losses. Blown out at BYU 38-9. And then they had a road loss to a 4-8 Houston. Then they lost to Arizona State and Iowa State, who were in the Big 12 title game. This year, if you look at their schedule, and if you don't mind pulling that up, they don't play Arizona State, which is huge for them. Getting to avoid them is really massive for this run for me. Not really even hosting. Iowa State at Ireland is big. I think they're going to win that game, and I think they'll be in a good spot the rest of the year. And then looking at their road games, at Arizona, which is one of the weaker in the conference, at Baylor can be tough, but at Kansas is not going to be realistically very tough. At Oklahoma State,
Cakewalk.
Shouldn't be tough at all. The at Utah game kind of scares me, but I feel like that's the one game they lose this entire season in their route to the Big 12.
Sure.
And I think 2 wins should put you in some kind of tiebreaker for the Big 12, but 1 loss is what guarantees you're in the Big 12 title game, and I have them getting to 1 loss and reaching the Big 12 title game. I expect Avery Johnson to take another step. He doesn't have the pressure on him this year. He's not being talked about. I talked about it at the beginning of the Big 12 recap. Like, last year he had the 8th highest odds to win the Heisman Trophy for a sophomore in his first season starting at quarterback, only starting 6 games as a freshman. So he's going to have way lower expectations while they still are favorites to win the conference. And I think he's going to thrive under that. And I expect the Wildcats to be in a good spot. Because I don't expect the embarrassments to happen. And then not having to play Arizona State, I think, will help them.
Yes,
and
sir.
Getting to host a team like Texas Tech, who's tied for them in the favorite odds, is huge for them as well this year.
Yeah.
I expect the Wildcats to be in the Big 12 title game, and because of that, I think they've got a chance to win it, and I think they will win it.
Yeah, they're definitely a very good team. I'm not sure if I completely agree about Avery Johnson taking a step. I'm just a little worried about his long-term projection as a passer. That being said, fantastic runner, great in play action. If he could find a way to just hit a couple more throws a game, especially when they're down and they have to pass, if he could just get a little bit better in that area, I think that's a huge improvement for this team. So while I don't actually know if I see another step for him, like a big step, I think he's still definitely a QB that can be very productive and you can win with. Do we have an over-under for this team, or do you want to add anything?
Yeah,
Sanders?
I'll give you the over-under. This is, well, it went away again. I got to scroll down. Big 12, Kansas
8.5.
State. 8.5.
I'll take the over. I know JP's taking the over. It'd be crazy to say
I'll take the over.
your team to win the Big 12 and take the under.
Yeah, I think I'll also take the over. The schedule does look pretty light as far as, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take the over there.
Huge.
I think they can get 9 wins out of that schedule.